Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Let's get right into talking about the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to talk today a little bit about an article I was just reading about Shaq Leonard that plays on the Colts. Not a great article, but we're going to talk about that and about his injury and what it looks like for him going forward. What's that going to look like? We're going to talk about Indiana's first game against Florida Gulf Coast. It didn't look that great. They got behind 42-48 at one time. Who came in and saved the day? We're going to talk about this guy who's a freshman, Gabe Cupps. Talk about him in this episode. And what do you think is going to happen in the Colts-Patriots game in Germany? We got an early morning game, so we're going to be watching football while we're eating our Cheerios. All that and more on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. I'm your residential anchor, Aaron, but first let's thank our sponsor, Reynolds Wrap. For 75 years, Reynolds Wrap, an American company, has producing some of the greatest American-made aluminum foil that you have ever seen. This stuff saves you time in the kitchen. Line sheet pans with it, line your grill with it, wrap ribs in it, transfer stuff from the fridge to the freezer to the grill by using Reynolds Wrap. I even use this stuff for lids when I can't find lids for Tupperware. Works like a charm. Save time in the kitchen. Get back to the big game faster this Sunday at halftime by using Reynolds Wrap. Thank you to Reynolds Wrap for sponsoring this video. All right, so first I want to talk about, I was reading an article that was in The Athletic about Darius Leonard and about that he most likely will not be on the Colts following this season. That is sad, but that is kind of where he is at with that injury right now. Now, I know the Colts would welcome him back, honestly and eagerly, if he can have another back surgery and recover. But these back surgeries are very, very unpredictable. There's so many nerve endings that go from your spinal column and your neck and your back, to your legs and your arms. I broke 8 bones in my lower back. I've had like a nerve thing in my thumb ever since. So I mean, yeah, I had like tingling in my legs and things like that when I broke bones in my back, definitely. But these are more like he's having more of like a fusion surgery. Tiger Woods had this surgery many times. I think he had 3 back surgeries before it took. Peyton Manning had a couple of neck surgeries before his major neck surgery took him out for a year, and he had to have more of a major neck surgery. So I don't really know what the health. I do know this. He can't fire off of his left foot. That's what I've really heard. His left leg, I mean, if you watch, and I rewatch every game from beginning to end, and I watch like different players, and I watch him a lot on defense to see how he's moving around out there. He has no explosiveness out of his left leg, and that sudden burst is just not there for him. So Shaq Leonard, I hope you can recover. I would really hate to see you go, because if we look at it like this, a couple years ago, this guy was drafted in 2018. I guess 5 years ago now. He was really a bright spot, came out of nowhere, came from a small school, played like hell for the Colts, was one of the most popular players that was on the team for a couple years there. And now he's like had these injuries and is not able to really recover from them 100%. So Shaq Leonard, just hope you can come back. But let's talk about the Colts-Patriots game in Germany. I don't have a great feeling about this game. I don't know why. Judon, that plays on their team on the defense, I feel like he is going to have his way. This is Matthew Judon against Gardner Minshew in this game. Can Gardner Minshew get the ball thrown before this guy absolutely annihilates him? I don't know. I'm not going to go into much X's and O's in this game. We know the Patriots, they are terrible. Maybe not as bad as the Panthers, as we watched the Bears beat the Panthers last night. But the Patriots are pretty terrible. It's just hard for me to really, because I still have that fear of Bill Belichick in my heart. So it is really hard to see, how are they going to beat them this could be a really close game. Teams that have won a game and have went to play overseas have lost every single one of those games. No team has kept a winning streak going after they went overseas. So that's playing against the Colts. They'd like to buck that trend this weekend. I'm going to do more analysis of the game and everything this afternoon and make a more in-depth video tomorrow morning about the Colts and the Patriots and some of the key matchups in that game. There are some key players out for the Colts. I know Ogletree is out. I know Alec Pierce is dealing with another injury. And then hopefully Braden Smith can be back for this game. And we'll talk about that more of the individual stuff because I wanted to talk about IU basketball. IU against Florida Gulf Coast. There are a lot of different takeaways. You could watch this game and think a lot of different things. These guys have not played together much at all. They've played a couple of exhibitions. We have 3 McDonald's All-Americans on this team. Malik Renew, Mbako, and Ware. Now, one thing I was looking out for, Ware, and everybody said at Oregon, he was like a low motor guy, didn't look like, I thought he looked like he played hard. I mean, he filled up the stat sheet. I think he had like 14 rebounds and like 15 points. Trey Galloway led the team in scoring. He only missed like 2 shots in this game. So Trey Galloway, he's definitely going to have to just take it upon himself to be a little bit more aggressive now that, I mean, he's a senior this year, I believe. It's hard to tell with the COVID year, but so Galloway played well, but the guy who really came in and is already a legend is Gabe Cupps. Gabe Cupps, his workout routine is legendary. This guy, apparently, for the past 12 years, he never has missed a day. He wakes up at like 4:30 in the morning and does like legendary 2-hour workouts before he even went to high school. Gabe Cupps, he seemed like, I'm bringing this up because Bob Knight died this week, and check out my Bob Knight tribute video. It's on this channel on Indiana Sports Connection. But he is one of those guys that Bob Knight would have loved. He's just like a hard-nosed, hardcore player. He seems like Jordan Hall's a little bit, except a little bit more athletic and maybe a little bit better. I don't know about the shooting, if he'll be as good or a better shooter than Jordan Hall's, but it looks like he can do just about everything he can do and more. So Gabe Cupps was like a man unhinged when he came into the game. So glad to see him out there. Mbako, Ware, Renew had some nice moves around the basket, but he's got to use his brain out there on the court more than what he did. He can be a frustrating player. But the Hoosiers getting many players from Verde Academy. You see, like the guy that went to Duke this week, he's from that Mount Verde Academy as well. He played in Maine, and then I think he transferred down there to get some better competition. But so, the Hoosiers, a little bit of a scary game for them, but I'm just going to take it as like a win's a win. It's an early game in the season. They got some big time games coming up. They play UConn on November 19th, I think it is. And I'm really looking forward to that one. But I like what I saw so far. A lot of people were a lot of Indiana fans, especially, it's so hard to tell how guys develop through the season. That is what I love about college basketball, though. Watching guys develop throughout the season. Like, where were you in November and how are you going to be playing in February? It's not how you start. It's how you finish. And that's it. Jason Kelsey was on Thursday Night Football last night, and he said a Bob Knight quote, which I loved, which is, the team that makes the fewest mistakes will most likely win the game. I don't know why Thursday Night Football is so bad now that they have to have guests like it's a talk show. And I don't know how many of these Kelsey brothers there are, but they seem to be everywhere. But just know that a Hoosier fan heard that Bob Knight quote. It did not go unrecognized. So Indiana got a lot of big things coming up with basketball team. just really looking forward to watching them develop. And the Colts in Germany, I'll talk to you more tomorrow, and we'll talk about the Colts, what their strategy needs to be to beat the Patriots. But until next time, stay classy out there, Colts and Hoosier fans.